I told y'all, man, a lot of people just slid for Young Dolph at the CMG concert. Let's break it down. Subscribe and like. Went and did that interview because they talked about how Straight dropped that diss track to Young Dolph, and they had the CMG big homie guy right there, and he was in the video and everything like that. He's siding with Moneybagg Yo. So why is one of Moneybagg Yo's dudes actually in the diss track with Dolph, and he's standing on it? He not apologizing for nothing. He said that it wasn't his idea or nothing like that, and that he's okay with being in it. And so that just goes to show you the level of respect between Moneybagg Yo crew and Young Dolph crew, is that they don't even care at all, to the fact that they still will have a guy out there going in to do the diss and everything like that. And it's just further progressing, because the fact that Straight did that Young Dolph diss, all that did is make it to where a lot more people that's actually in the streets, standing out there on Castalia, standing out there in them neighborhoods, they gonna be mad. They go anytime that they see Moneybagg Yo's Bentley, anytime they see Yo Gotti and all the new artists, anytime that they see Glorilla at the concert, Govan Hernandez, Big Jook, Black Youngster, Yo Gotti, all of the people, including Cornelius Smith and all of them, when they see them, they gonna be mad. They gonna think about Dolph on their mind and the fact that they dissed him, and they gonna have something to say to those people, because a lot of times when somebody does something like that, most people want to let them know that they was wrong for doing that, and that they should take the diss track down. And because that's exactly what they was thinking about Black Youngster, when Black Youngster actually went to the tombstone and everything and dissed it. That just goes to show you how they really feel about Dolph. A lot of people was hating on Dolph, and I know the majority of everybody watching is Young Dolph supporters, Young Dolph fans. Go ahead, if you are, go ahead and comment that dolphin emoji in the comment section, and let me know where y'all from and who you rocking with, because at the end of the day, they about to get justice for Dolph. A whole lot of stuff is about to happen. People in Memphis already know what's going on. Key Glock and them know that they getting ready to activate the RICO. That's why they haven't been out doing anything too crazy. They don't want to bring too much attention to them, because they don't want to have Big Jook and Govan and everybody tell on what they got going on, or if Key Glock went and smacked Govan's uncle or any of the people that did the planning for the Young Dolph, then he could get caught up in a whole nother case of just trying to retaliate, and that could throw a RICO on PRE. So you got to understand that they just falling back and letting the people take care of it, because at the end of the day, they know that it's just one step away from getting the justice for Dolph. And so, a lot of things is the fact that when Glorilla switched sides, a lot of people that's actually in CMG now, including like Moneybagg Yo got kicked out of CMG. That's why he went to BGE. He knows that without Young Dolph putting him on to the features, that he would have never got the opportunity, because the only reason Yo Gotti signed Moneybagg Yo was because Young Dolph wanted him. And so that was just part of the beef thing. They wanted to take the opportunities away from each other, and that's just not cool. That's why Yo Gotti in Memphis and all of the people that's left, they got to come together, man. If Yo Gotti would have just came together with Young Dolph would have made Yo Gotti a bigger superstar, and they would have been making way more money, because of the way that Memphis has all this talent. All the rappers is coming out of Memphis. You got to understand that if Dolph was around right now, it would be a whole different game. PRE would be the major on top right now. And a lot of the people like Jay-Z and Diddy, they would be very jealous, because you see how Memphis is getting all this attention. Young Dolph was supposed to be the owner and the face of all of that. So they already seen this coming. You got to understand that a lot of jealousy, greed, and envy, because they knew that Dolph was about to make $1 billion and then leave rap and just go and do his real estate projects, because at the end of the day, he already had his mind made. He already had his plan set up on what he was going to do to save his family and get them all out of Memphis. Man, Dolph wasn't living in Memphis and hanging around there. And so when he came back, he was just really trying to give back, do the turkey drives, the giveaways and everything like that. And they stopped it. They ruined what would have been a good thing to go out. Like, you got to remember all them families that never got to get the turkeys that day. All the kids that never got the backpacks for the back to school drive that Young Dolph was doing. You know how many people's bills Young Dolph was paying the water bill for a lot of the people. And you know, whenever they ran out of the EBT, whenever they ran out of the SNAP payments, Young Dolph would be right there going to the Kroger to picking up the shipments of the grocery, having it delivered to the families in need, man. He was really the only person that was actually looking out for folks, like regular folks, man. Because one thing about, you know, Moneybagg Yo, Gotti, all the guys that got rich off of Memphis and off of the community, they don't want to talk to the poor families no more. They don't want to talk to the people that really need the help. And so they stepped away from that. That's why you never see Yo Gotti walking around the Makeda's neighborhood, because the people from that neighborhood really need help, and he's the one that's got it to be able to make a difference or anything like that. So when Yo Gotti basically didn't want to help them, Young Dolph came around and he started helping, and they started liking him more. A lot of people that was in Yo Gotti's own neighborhood, that lived down the street from his dad, that knew Yo Gotti when he was growing up, and used to give him like 50 cents to run down to the store and get cake or to get a drink or a Kool-Aid or anything like that. When they used to give Yo Gotti $1 to go get ice from the corner store and come back so they could fill up their double cups, all of the people that grew up like that seen Yo Gotti and seen Young Dolph grow up, and they seen Yo Gotti turn into what he's going to do. And then they seen Dolph come around and he was still helping even when he got the bag. When Dolph got the bag, he started helping even more in Memphis, man. And so that's why a lot of people, they want to get the justice for it, because it's a good way to remember. Key Glock and Grove Hero wouldn't be the man that they is today without the influence and basically having Young Dolph to look up to as a role model. Because when the beef with Lil Migo and Key Glock came about, Key Glock could have really spazzed out and threw his whole career away and went and slid to get revenge on Lil Migo and slapped him around like the rag doll, just like how Grove Hero did in the airport. But he took one look at Dolph to the right of him, and Dolph told him, man, it's not worth it, because these millions that you're about to make is you're gonna have to either choose making the millions, or you're gonna have to choose handling your situation with the beef in the streets, because they don't mix together. You don't get to make millions and get to beef and have everything be okay. You gonna have people on your side that get locked, that get sent up, and they gonna have people on their side that get sent up. Just look at how the situation with Lil Durk is. Beefing never gets you anywhere. Even when you have millions and millions of dollars, you gonna end up losing cousins and brothers and everything like that, and backdoor situations, and you gonna have people thinking that you the one that set them up. And so when everybody sits back and they all looking at Yo Gotti and CMG and how they all breaking apart, selling it to Jay-Z, everybody's doing all these interviews talking about they not a part of CMG no more, and that they only rocking with Moneybagg Yo, BGE, and Zebo, Zach Randolph, because at the end of the day, they know that Zach Randolph ain't included in any of the stuff that's going on with CMG. And so it's safer to go with him because he's the NBA player. They're not going to do anything because he's been keeping a clean image. But the fact that, see, Yo Gotti was too late. All of the stuff that they did in the streets, all of the stuff that happened at the Privé restaurant, all the things that happened with the 100 shots and signing Black Youngster on it, having him do all the dirty work, riding around with Big Jook and Govon's Bentley truck that belonged to Moneybagg Yo, who he got from CMG when they signed him with a signing bonus, and he was really just trying to give that to Ari, and she parked it in the driveway to where people end up seeing it. And when they see that Bentley driving down Airways as Dolph arms sticking out the window, and the people looking with their eyes in the back seat close up to the window taking a video to make sure that they confirmed that they actually got Dolph. And when they did that, it was a complete mistake that they made, because that's the giveaway that made it to where they even found out that they could do the RICO, was through the fact that somebody had to pay for that Bentley to get driven around like that. Somebody had to pay Govon to get the blueprints and figure out exactly the way that Makeda's backdoor locking mechanism is and how they was going to be able to get in the inside of it right before Young Dolph came, so they could set up the whole scene so that they blindside him and everything like that. Like, in order for them to do that, somebody had to get paid, and that had to come from somewhere. And that's why they scrambling around and saying, Yo Gotti's not my boss, I'm not a part of CMG, because they know in the back of their head that they don't want that going up the ladder and having them talk to Yo Gotti and them. because the one thing that they did is that they agreed that they wasn't going to tell on Yo Gotti, and if they did, then they head is on the chopping block, because that's how it is when you end up going down that lifestyle and going down that path. That's why you should focus on taking care of your family, taking care of your health, and making sure you actually get some generational wealth going around so you can leave it behind, instead of leaving behind old revenge or old beefs for your artists and your family, your people in your community to basically have issues with. And so at the end of the day, people just got to realize that, condolences to Young Dolph, RIP to Dolph, and everybody else, and make sure you subscribe.